There is a judge I have in mind that he just, when I first went in and at my first appearance, I told him about my issues with my drug use and my bad decision. Now, Ray Conkin Jr. was my judge, and I told him about that, and he immediately gave me the information on how to get a hold of Sullivan County Drug Coalition, and then they had a case manager set up where Jeff Noah come in and talked to me, and he was great. And that right there, that coming from a judge, having compassion, I just threw it out there. I didn't know that it was going to lead anywhere, but he was the first spark of hope. When he told me he was going to turn it over and get me a case manager and get me in touch with some people about recovery and rehab, that right there, that was the beginning of my hope. So thank you, Ray Conkin Jr. Thank you very much. My life is much better now for that decision to help me.
Judge Ross in Hawkins County. He has put me in his jail so many times. For years, it was like I was his project child. I was on his recovery court. I was constantly in there for violations of probation. But he would just literally wait for me for last, stick his feet up on the table and be like, so tell me what you did this time. Because I was so great at telling lies. Oh my gosh, it was never my fault. It was always something else. I didn't do it. And I remember the last time when I got these big charges and I was already out on bond for some small stuff. And he told me, he looked at me and he said, Danielle, I'm going to try to send you to rehab again. He said, I don't want to have to go to your funeral with your son. And told me that he was going to try to send me to rehab on the charges that I would only have to do 10 days on. But he said it was still in his jurisdiction, so he could send me to this program. And he sent me again. I went to Johnson City and it all clicked. I owe everything to him. He never gave up on me, and he doesn't for so many people. He really, really wants people to recover.
I'm seeing how supportive that the judges are in all the surrounding counties. My wife went through the Ten Rocks program. Judge Goodwin's obviously just a great dude. Judge Ross in Hawkins County. Judge Tui was the guy that I went back in front of for the charges I had when you guys came and got me out of jail, and super supportive, and I see that they're offering this now. When I was there, I sort of had to be proactive in getting a hold of Jeff and Scott. But now the last time I had to go to court, which has been a year and a half ago, I seen the judge on the video thing offering it to everybody. That it applied to anyway. I have a couple of guys right now and they'll say this themselves that wouldn't be here if it weren't for this, we'll send you to prison or you can be on drug court or to Ten Rocks or whatever the case may be. And so it's almost to begin with, maybe their hand is forced, they're given a choice, but once they get here, oh man, they're just killing it. Some of these guys don't want help until they get here and realize that they need it. And without what's going on with the courts and stuff right here, they just wouldn't have the opportunity. I just think it's great.
I was on Ten Rocks, and I am forever grateful to Judge Goodwin. Everything that he asked of me to do helped me so much. And that fear that he put in me, it's great. Everything, I think they're doing really good things. I really do. Ten Rocks and Sober Living Together, it's great. The MRT they offer, the IOP, the mental health, it's great. I needed it all. And I'm so thankful for it, for the whole program.
First off, she didn't slap me on the wrist. You know what I mean? She did give me a chance at the beginning, and I messed it up. But, they say Miss Judge Nelson, she's a tough one. And I remember one of the guards actually saying, "Boy, you got lucky. She don't never do stuff like that." She let me out on a furlough. She obviously seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. Whenever I got out of the rehab and went to the recovery resources, like I said, I was still on the ankle monitor, and I still had to go to court and see her a couple times. She, her whole attitude changed towards me. The very first time I went back and seen her, like she looked at me with a grin on her face. She told me she was proud of me to keep doing what I was doing, and that if I'm still doing good the next time I come in, that she's gonna take the ankle monitor off and release me on everything. And I've never heard that from a judge, you know what I mean? I've always just heard, "Oh, we recommend you run your sentence," you know? And so that felt good to me. And then when I did go back, she did what she said she was gonna do. She took my ankle monitor off and released me off everything, so.
With Judge Nelson, she's given me so many chances. And she's believed in me every time. It makes me want to cry. She's believed in me every time. And so it took me 3 or 4 chances. But she actually believed in me, and she was the first person to take that chance on me. But so the 2 times I did go, you know, she gave me those chances. Like, she didn't have to do that. After the first chance, she could have, you know, because a lot of people were like, if you don't get it right the first time, then whatever. But she believed in me multiple chances. Like, she's a great judge, really. I feel like she is there to try to help people as long as you're wanting to help yourself, but she can't do it for you.
There's a couple, especially Tui and Ross, that just, the Tui gave me the opportunity when I went into, before I was even arrested, it was like, "Do you want some help?" And I was like, you know, it's a huge deal. And just hearing him say to me the last time I was in there that I'd done everything I was supposed to, plus the way, you know, it was completely different on how you stood court and how I would be spoke to, you know, and just you could tell the amount of pride that was in him was different.
So actually Judge Ross in Hawkins County, when I first got sentenced, he was going to let me go to a year-long program, but I had a hold in Sullivan County, so I wasn't able to do that. But even after I got out and I found out that there were still open charges in Hawkins County, he was there. He told me to do certain things, and he would dismiss it. And I did everything he asked me to do. And when I went to get my license, I went up there and said, "Look, I've been in recovery for this amount of time. I've done this, I've done this, I've done that." He took away some fines, allowing me to get my license back. And then what we're seeing over here, you know, like Judge Goodwin in the recovery courts and the 10 Rocks, and you know, all these things that they've got in place now. That, like, it seems like some courts, I won't say all, but some courts are really starting to gear toward the rehabilitation before incarceration, saying that, you know, it's been going around forever. But it didn't seem like it was true, but in certain places. But today, it feels like they really are starting to try to push that, you know? And that's pretty cool to see, you know? I'm not saying that people who shouldn't have to suffer some consequences for their crimes. We did wrong, we need to own up to that and make our mistakes right. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But, you know, we're worth second chances to